Hello, I would like to welcome everyone to another episode of Succeed Success Group. It's a pleasure to have you here, guys. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's here. Uh, let's get right into the topic. Wonderful topic for you guys today. As you can see from the title, this video today is about Ja Morant. And, in my opinion, Ja Morant doing better for the youth. Uh, I'm going to start out by saying in no way am I in this video here to disrespect Ja Morant, talk about Ja Morant. I'm not here to call him a studio gangster and say that he's, fronting because he, had a weapon on him, or he's trying to act tough, or he grew up privileged and, I'm not here to get into those things. I actually think a little bit differently than a lot of people who have been reporting on him, kind of, disrespecting him and things of that nature. Um, you know, I'm of the belief that you can grow up in a privileged environment and still be tough. Just like you can grow up in a tough environment or, a negative environment and you could not be tough. So, I just want to say that about just what I've been seeing a lot of people post on this particular situation. So, you can see from the title, guys, Ja Morant do better for the youth. So that's kind of what I wanted to focus on today, is that I feel that, Ja Morant is an extremely talented athlete. He's got a world of potential. He's got a lot of great things going for him. And I just want him and other people in his position and situation to know that you are first and foremost a role model to several youth. Several young people look up to you. I work with the youth, guys. I work with a lot of different, teens and things of that nature. And I know that there are people even younger than teens, middle school, grammar school, teens, college athletes, adults. A lot of people look up to Ja Morant, for whatever reason that might be, because of his talent within the sport of basketball. Maybe you look up to him because he graduated from college. Maybe you look up to him because, you think that his situation is similar to your situation. Whatever the case may be, you have a wide variety of different people who look up to Ja Morant. And so my message is, to Ja Morant, but it's also to anyone who's in a position like Ja Morant. And I just want to tell you, you guys, you wonderful people, it could be male, female, that you have a responsibility to people to kind of do the right thing. And that's really what I want to say. You know, what we're talking about, guys, is recently Ja Morant was in a club after a game. I believe this was in Colorado. I don't. I'm not sure if it was in Denver. I think it might have been right outside of Denver or in a small area uh, around Denver, or could have been in Denver. They were playing the Nuggets, the Memphis Grizzlies, and Ja was in a club, and he was dancing in the club, having a good time, and he actually, for 2 seconds, everyone saw it. He went on Instagram Live, and he showed a gun. And so, huge no-no, huge red flag, something that, as a professional athlete, you can't do. And that is where, a lot of situations and problems arose for Ja Morant. And so, guys, we're aware of the situation. I guess the main thing that I want to talk to you guys about, and this message is for everyone, is for teens, it's for adults, it's also for student athletes who are in college and at the high school level, and professional athletes. I just want you to know that you don't have to have a gun with you on a road trip, right? You don't need a gun on a road trip. And I do want to say that that's probably one of the situations that arose for Ja in this particular situation, is that there was a lot of question on how did he get the weapon to Denver when it was a road game and the teams fly on a plane. And so I think that Ja was able to kind of get out of the situation and handle the situation. I'm not sure if somebody that was with him might have just taken the rap for the gun and the entire situation, kind of behind the scenes. I think that might have been what took place, because if you kind of notice, he's back now playing with the team, which is great. He's back with the team, and it's kind of, I don't want to say brushed under the rug, but I think that it'll eventually kind of die down. One thing I want to say about John Morant is that he seems to be very well liked within the NBA. He seems to have the NBA behind his back to a certain degree. They seem like they want to really make him one of one of those guys, or one of those players that they kind of push to promote to the youth and to other people about the NBA. So I think that he's in a good situation because of his talent, to be honest with you, and because he has had a pretty clean record up until this point. So again, guys, John Morant, I believe, signed a $200 million deal. He gets endorsements. To me, he's extremely talented, extremely smart. I'm definitely not here to talk about or disrespect John Morant. I just want you to think, Ja, and other people in your situations, about your actions before you take an action like that, because you got so many young people looking up to you. You got so many people wanting to go to the NBA, not only in America, all around the world, and you are a leader in the NBA. You're pretty talented, in my opinion. Very, very talented young man. I think you got a world of potential. You have a great story. I believe your sister plays basketball as well. Great family. So, you just want to keep all of that in mind, and realize that there are so many young people who are looking up to you, and you kind of want to do the right thing at all times for those young people. Also, I want to talk about, guys, a very, very serious point, and it kind of ties into Ja and his situation, but then it also ties into some of these college athletes that we've been seeing recently. So recently, we've seen this year, we're in March Madness now, but we've seen recently this year in the regular season, two players, maybe you could say three, but definitely two, that were involved in situations that where they had a gun, and they were college athletes, no longer playing for the colleges that they were playing for. But there's a correlation in these situations with Ja, with these college athletes, and guns in sports. And so I want to just make sure that all college athletes who are out there, who are in great situations at whatever university you're in, it could be D1, D2, D3, a JUCO, NAIA, whatever situation you're in the best situation that you can be in. And you do not want to ruin your opportunity for greatness and success because you are trying to fit in with a crowd, you are trying to have a gun, you are trying to be tough, or whatever the case may be. You don't want to get in those situations. Now, the crazy thing about this is that the two student athletes that I know of this year that were involved in gun situations, you'll probably never hear about them again. I know one is going to be doing jail time. The other one might not do as much jail time or any jail time because it might be deemed self-defense. So, you probably never hear about them again. They might have lost that opportunity that they had. Now, Ja, on the other hand, because he's reached such a level of notoriety and fame, and he's grew, to being one of the top NBA players in the game at this particular time, he's going to live on. His story is going to keep going. He's going to get opportunities again to keep thriving within the game of basketball. It's a little different when you reach a professional level as opposed to you are playing and representing a college and a university. Obviously at the university level, the university has more control, and the basketball program or the football program or the baseball program or whatever program has more control over the situation as opposed to in the NBA, where there's a lot more money involved, there's more individuality, and you just have more freedom to kind of do some of the things you want to do. Now, let me be clear. let me be 100% clear. There are several professional players that have lost their opportunity to, thrive within the game they play. So I think Ja, had he done more, could have possibly lost that opportunity. Uh, you know, but because he's well liked, because he's very talented, because he's young, and because I believe the league really likes him and thinks that he can represent them in a good way and make them money, then I think they're willing to back him somewhat, and I think this situation will eventually get kind of brushed under the rug. I think Ja's young. It's definitely something he can learn from. I don't think he ruined his career. I don't think he ruined his life. Had he made this same mistake in college, who knows? Who knows? Will we be sitting here talking about the same, person that we're talking about now? So that's why for all you college athletes, it's so critical, it's so important that you are on point and you're taking care of your business at the collegiate level if you want to get to that next level, if you want to get to that professional level. And it's not only in sports. That's if you're working a job, if you're, trying to advance within your career. You really have to take advantage of your situation and be careful early. And you have to be careful throughout the entirety of your entire existence, to be honest with you, especially once you've made it to that professional level, or once you've made it to that corporate level, or once you have that great career or that great job. You have to be careful not to put yourself in a situation where it could all be taken from you in a blink of an eye. And I'm going to reiterate that point again for all you people out there listening. Just like that, your situation can be taken away from you if you do something that is, not smart, something that you definitely shouldn't be doing. Ja knew, and you think he would have known that, you cannot show a gun on Instagram Live. That's something that you cannot do as a professional athlete. I am just, thankful for him that he got everything back, and I believe he'll get an opportunity to get everything back. He might have lost some endorsement money. He might have lost a deal or two. I know he had a big deal with Powerade, and hopefully they didn't drop him from that deal. I know he had some deals, and I believe he was signed with Nike. Hopefully he didn't lose that opportunity either. So again, I'm not here to diss Ja Morant. I think he's a great young man. He's gonna have an amazing career, and I think that this is one of those situations that we can all learn from. He can learn from. He will learn from, and I'm sure it won't happen again. But I just want all of you wonderful people out there who are a part of Succeed Success Group and who are doing their thing out there. I want you to realize that you do have a responsibility, even though you might not think you do. You have a responsibility to the youth just because of the title that you're in. If you're in the NFL or the NHL, if you're playing professional baseball, if you're playing professional basketball, whether that be at the overseas level or the NBA level or whatever the case may be, you are a role model. If you're a collegiate athlete, you're a role model to the high school athletes. If you're a high school athlete, you're a role model to the grammar school athletes. And it's not all about athletics. If you're just a person who's older, then I feel like you are a role model to the youth without you even possibly knowing it. And I think not enough people utilize that opportunity, realize that opportunity, and take advantage of it. So Ja, love you, man, and just realize that you're in a great position to really lead the youth in today's society. Now, I want to go back to a point about professional athletes and weapons and guns. Now, do professional athletes and have professional athletes in the past had a gun on them, or do they have a gun in their possession? Yes. And I think the answer to that question is yes, some do, some don't. But I think you'd be surprised at the amount that do. And you would ask yourself, why would a professional athlete have a gun? Well, guys, we live in a society where you see a lot of things happening that should not be happening. You see a lot of violent acts, a lot of violent situations. You see a lot of jealousy. You see a lot of hate. And some of these professional athletes are making millions of dollars. Some of these professional athletes are the breadwinners in their family. Some of these professional athletes have a lot of materialistic items and things that people might get jealous of. So I'm not faulting professional athletes for possibly having a weapon in their possession. What I'm saying is that if you are a professional athlete and you have a weapon in your possession, then go about it the right way. You know, make sure it's legal. Make sure you have your gun license. Make sure you have everything in order for you to have that weapon. Am I saying that you should? No. I'm not saying that you should if you are a professional athlete. I'm not saying that you need a weapon. I personally think that you don't. I believe in just doing the right thing and energy in the universe. And when you put forth that right energy, it will come back to you in the right way. But at the same time, I'm no fool. I'm no dummy. I know there's a lot going on. I know there's a lot of haters out here. You can look at all the rappers that have been going through issues with people who have just been jealous of them and been hating on them and been just doing bad things to them because they've reached a level of fame. So with that being said, I totally understand if a professional athlete would have a weapon on them. So I'm not condoning it, but I do understand. So I'm just saying that for all of you professional athletes out there, if you do have a weapon on you, go about it the right way, be extremely careful, be extremely safe, and realize that you're still a role model. Realize that, you want to be careful in all situations so that you don't put yourself in harm to risk your wonderful opportunity and, obviously the money that you make. So, I just appreciate, Ja, I appreciate everyone listening. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for the youth to learn from. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for Ja Morant to grow from. Obviously, he will not make this mistake again. I'm pretty sure of that. I think he's smart. Obviously, to get to that level and to be that successful, you have to be smart and have a good head on your shoulders. I think he's a great kid, great young man. He will learn from this and he will overcome this particular situation. Now, going to the point that a lot of people have made about his father, I've heard a lot of people, kind of disrespecting his father and saying that they feel like his father could be more of a father and less of a homie or a homeboy or his partner. And I'm in the middle on it. One, I want to say that I commend Ja Morant's father for having a great relationship with his son. I think that he does have a great relationship with his son. And you want to be careful about questioning a father-son relationship because there's so many young people out there who don't know their father or who don't have a good relationship with their father. So first and foremost, you want to commend Ja Morant's father for, getting him to the NBA, working him out, taking the steps that he needed to take within his life to make sure that his son reached the top level. And for those of you who don't know, Ja Morant's father opened up the entire backyard area when Ja Morant was in high school, and I believe this was in South Carolina, and he opened up the entire backyard area. They actually had a little bit of land on their property, and he made it basically a basketball court and a workout facility for Ja and other kids in the neighborhood. So, this is extremely commendable, extremely something that I think is amazing and something that I think, should be commended. So is he a bad person? I don't think so at all. You do, as a father, you want to, and I'm not a father, but again, I work with and have worked with thousands of youth. So I just think that you want to be a leader within your child's life and you want to teach them the right ways. You do want to be a friend, but you don't want to be, I guess, too much of a friend to the point where they're not learning from you. And I think that's important for everyone to understand that is a parent and that's not a parent. Again, as a parent, as a father figure, as a mother figure, you have that responsibility to your child and to the youth in general to just kind of do the right thing and give them, good experiences and good opportunities and good things that they can learn from you. So, again, I'm not disrespecting Ja Morant's father at all. I think they have a great relationship, and they'll continue to have a great relationship, and they'll continue to grow together as one. You know, so shout out to them, shout out to the family, shout out to the community, shout out to Memphis Grizzlies, great team, great organization. I think they have great players there, and they are a pretty talented team. They're doing pretty good this season. They're probably really happy to have Ja back. I'm sure he's really happy to be back. I'm sure he probably realized, like, wow, this is definitely more than I intended it to be. You have to be very careful with Instagram Live. I don't understand nowadays why so many people put their business out there within social media that's negative. This did not occur, I would say, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. It just wasn't a thing to put out your personal business for everyone to see. And I just want everyone who's in the limelight, or everyone who is on Instagram or on social media, to just be careful about what you're putting out there. You don't want to incriminate yourself, and you definitely don't want to send the wrong message to the youth and make them think that negative activity is cool. And I think that's one of the problems that we have with a lot of just youth and teens and young adults and adults, is that they think a lot of negative stuff is cool, because a lot of negative stuff is pushed out in society and is promoted in society. So, shout out to Ja, shout out to all the people listening, Ja and everyone else who's on that level. And even if you're not on that level, I want you to understand that you're a leader, you're a role model, and there are a lot of people looking up to you. So be careful about the decisions you make. And if you have so much talent and you have so many opportunities and so many abilities, do not ruin them, do not waste them, do not throw them away. There are so many professional athletes. If we go down the list, we obviously have our Kobe Bryants, we obviously have our Michael Jordans, we have our LeBron James, but at the same time, for those individuals, we have a list of individuals that have committed crimes and been in situations and gotten themselves, locked up, or even worse, other situations have occurred. You have your Sam Hurds, you have your Aaron Hernandez's, you have these different people that have committed acts that have not represented themselves or the sport or their family or the community. So definitely not putting Ja in that light, putting him in the other light. I just want him and everyone else to realize you're in such a great opportunity. You have so many wonderful things ahead of you, and just really appreciate it. Understand that there's so many young people who look up to you. So many people like the dance you do. They like the moves. They like you dunking on people, shooting a shot, different things like that. So just understand that you are a role model. You're a leader. And you have so much opportunity, and you have so many, things that you can be doing for the youth. And just think about that first and foremost, whoever you are. I remember Charles Barkley back in the day made a comment about he's not a role model. And since then, I hope he's realized that he's definitely a role model. When he said that comment, he was a role model. There were people that were looking up to him, at that particular time. And, I think all professional athletes are role models. Again, I think all people have the opportunity, whether you're a professional athlete or not, to be a role model, and you should definitely take advantage of that opportunity. And guys, I really just thank you for being here. Wonderful episode today. Really want to just give a shout out to Ja Morant. I'm sure he learned from the situation. I'm sure the situation won't happen again. And I hope he realizes and understands now how much of a role model and leader that he is to so many, young people, to so many adults. And just take advantage of that opportunity. The Succeed Success Group really appreciates that. That's what Succeed Success Group is all about. Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for being a part of Succeed Success Group. I look forward to the next episode. Look forward to talking with you guys soon. And I will see you guys again very soon. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you so much. See you guys soon.